mko na noti ya 10k moja na it can only buy a chicken.
Kuna wale ambao wameiba mali ya umma.
Wale watu wa seminar na retreat.
NASA died. I'm a man of God. I prophesy NASA is dead. Tena iko shetani fulani anatuambia turudi nyuma tena kwa hiyo ndoa. Mimi ningependa tafadhali mtuombee leo ile ndoa ya NASA. Tafadhali Apostle mtuombee party leader wetu wasirudi huko.
They need money.
Because ukiangalia time ya budget.
No, it's the poorest county.
Wale ambao wanajiweka mbele kwamba ni mafarasi ndio watu ambao watatupotosha katika hii nchi ya Kenya. Wao wanataka watutumie kama vibarakala, tuwapatie uongozi, hakuna manufaa tutapata kwao.
And now you have, let's say, 20 million who will be back. How do you bank that money again?
I'm telling you, the culture of selling stuff in Western Kenya, any asset must be sold, any liability must be sold. Have you seen for the past 2 years what this man has been going through? Every time he has to come out and explain things, and the people who are putting him in these problems, what to do? Western Kenya needs a think tank.
Hizo ndo safarasi mbili tunatarajia, lakini hao wengine tumechoka nao. Maana mtu kama baba hauwezi kuwa unapewa penalty kila wakati au ufungi bao na bado timu inakupatia penalty. Sisi tumempigia ya kutosha.
Tayari kusimama na Musalia liwe liwalo, kama vile baba aliposimama na watu wake wa Kisumu, akasema hata akisema ati ende waanguke kwa kisima, anaanguka kwa kisima ati juu baba amesema. So mimi pia niko ready kusimama na Musalia Mudavadi.
Sasa wanamsumbua rais, badala ya rais kufanyia kazi wa Kenya. Sasa rais amekuwa ati anashughulikia watu watano hapo kujaribu kuwapanga na tamaa yao.
Thursday, there is politics, leadership, and governance. And we ain't gonna leave you out of our conversation. You can text or call in 0746 999 841. Good evening, glad you tuned into Maisha Television, right on time for Maisha Prime News. My name is Rida Chebet Kevin. Welcome. Deputy President William Ruto and ODM party leader Raila Odinga's political chess is expected to shape the 2022 politics. Going by the look of things, the Deputy President and Raila are well placed to be kings or kingmakers in the quest to succeed President Uhuru Kenyatta, come 2022 as the commander-in-chief. Bushebi Jr. with that report.
Deputy President William Ruto and ODM leader Raila Odinga's political chess game is expected to shape the 2022 succession matrix. With solid support in their home turfs, fanatical following and national presence, the Deputy President and Raila Odinga are well placed to be kings or kingmakers in the quest to succeed President Uhuru Kenyatta come 2022. Aggressive, focused but subdued by the power play in Jubilee that has clipped his clout, Ruto's charm is attracting leaders seeking to realign themselves politically ahead of the 2022 general elections. The Deputy President embarked on a charm offensive to woo governors, senators and MCAs, even as his party, the United Democratic Alliance, pumped up massive recruitment of members to consolidate support across the country. Ruto is also making inroads in President Uhuru Kenyatta's backyard of Mount Kenya region.
Ati wanakutana waweze kupanga vile wanaume 5-6 wanaweza kugawana mamlaka na vyeo.
Raila has managed to keep his political star shining through surprise moves that have dumbfounded both friend and foe over the years, with the latest version being sworn in as people's president and eventually a handshake with President Uhuru Kenyatta.
Raila Amolo Odinga.
The union of Uhuru and Raila induced an abortion of bromance between DP Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta in Jubilee. At some point, speculation over Deputy President William Ruto and ODM leader Raila Odinga possibly coming together was ripe. The news of the two arch rivals forming a coalition caused ripples in the political landscape. The tremor was felt among a coalition formed in 2017 among 4 political parties: ANC, ODM, Wiper and Ford Kenya. The Wiper, Amani National Congress and Ford Kenya parties began a split process of NASA coalition using the coalition agreement clause that stipulates that NASA can only cease to exist if 3 partners decide to pull out.
Don't look back to that moribund thing called NASA.
Na hiyo ndio njia ambayo tunapanga kuomoka na oka.
Our agreement between KANU and Jubilee is one which runs up to 2022, and it doesn't stop KANU from engaging or affiliating with new formations like Oka, okay, ambaye itaokoa Kenya.
So the quick formation of One Kenya Alliance, an amateur coalition bringing together Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka, KANU boss Gideon Moi, Ford Kenya's Moses Wetangula, and ANC's Musalia Mudavadi. The 4 who met with their close allies and party leadership officials have lately maintained hardline positions, insisting that they are keen to be on the ballot in 2022. A report of the technical team commissioned by the coalition members detailed a number of issues, among them a joint MOU, a manifesto, and possible realignment.
So today I can assure you and assure our party members that KANU is fully in charge of its decision.
In our constitution and in our political parties act, we have provisions of coalitions and cooperation agreements. The agreement that Jubilee has with KANU is what we call a post-election coalition. A post-election coalition is entered into after an election, and it serves for the purpose of the period after the election to the next election, 2017 to 2022.
The aim of the coalition of the third force is to clinch power against Deputy President William Ruto and Raila Odinga while strangling the NASA outfit to fizzle out ODM.
Rais anasumbuka na hiyo watu kujaribu na hawaelewani, kila mtu wako na tamaa, huyu wako na tamaa, huyu mwingine anasema sijui yako na risasi ngapi, ule mwingine anasema hawezi kufanya kazi na huyu mwingine. Sasa wanamsumbua rais, badala ya rais kufanyia kazi wa Kenya. Sasa rais amekuwa ati anashughulikia watu 5 hapo kujaribu kuwapanga na tamaa yao na kiburi yao na mambo yao ya ego kubwa, mpaka Kenya imekwama kwa sababu wanaume wachache hapo wanazunguka wakitafuta mambo yao.
However, talking exclusively to Maisha television, Kenyans in Bungoma County were divided not on 2 but 3: Musalia Mudavadi, Raila Odinga and William Ruto.
Salia Mudavadi zara wengine hatuni punda sijui nini, sisi najua viongozi wenye atasimama tutaangalia mtu anajali maslahi yetu. Our economy has deteriorated, so hatuwezi sema kwamba na huyo Ruto hizo ndio farasi mbili tunatarajia, lakini hao wengine tumechoka nao. Maana mtu kama baba hauwezi kuwa unapewa penalty kila wakati au fungi bao na bado timu inakupatia penalty. Sisi tumempigia ya kutosha.
Tayari kusimama na Musalia liwe liwalo, kama vile baba aliposimama na watu wake wa Kisumu akasema hata akisema ati ende waanguke kwa kisima anaanguka kwa kisima ati juu baba amesema. So mimi pia niko ready kusimama na Musalia Mudavadi.
Wale ambao wanajiweka mbele kwamba ni mafarasi ndio watu ambao watatupotosha katika hii nchi ya Kenya. Wao wanataka watutumie kama vibarakala, tuwapatie uongozi, hakuna manufaa tutapata kwao.
Tutaki kutawaliwa na viongozi wa hasira, haswa wenye wanajiita hasla.
Orange Democratic Movement has 74 members of parliament in the National Assembly and 20 senators who have closed ranks with Jubilee since the March 9th, 2018 handshake between Raila and the president. Practically, Ruto with his UDA is an outsider in the government and facing the full force of state machinery. Deputy President William Ruto is building a campaign in Kenya and abroad as he goes all out in the search for votes and resources ahead of 2022 elections.
Uko na chama ya mahasla. Chama ya mahasla inaitwa nini? Ati inaitwa nini?
He has sent emissaries to open diaspora offices, rolled out an aggressive ground operation that includes UDA party and aspirants regional forums, regional economic forums, allowing affiliate political parties to sprout without any demand on them to fold up and merge with UDA, and assembling a wide array of professionals. Added to this, the association he has established with churches, which before the COVID-19 pandemic had become his favorite avenue to reach the masses. His allies say DP Ruto is building the infrastructure that will scare his opponents and help him win decisively in the first round in 2022 polls. The fear in his camp is that a small margin of victory in 2022 could present his opponents, with support of state bureaucrats, an opportunity to manipulate the elections. As 2022 nears, it is only Raila and Ruto who are at the center of the 2022 succession politics. Seemingly, as political pundits say, the rest of the politicians should align themselves with the two leaders to have a political clout. For Maisha TV, I'm Bushabi Jr.
And now to matters education. University Academic Staff Union UASU Kisii chapter has again threatened to down their tools over failure by Kisii University to honor its pledge on the current collective bargaining agreement CBA. 2 months after a work boycott in May this year, the members vowed to continue protesting, leaving the option of the looming strike open. Lecturers have vowed to continue picketing until the university administration pays them new salaries based on capitation received by the end of last month.
The best thing that we can say, if you are not able to manage an institution of this kind, and we are now on our knees, the best thing is to step aside so that we can have an institution that is running. This institution is bigger than an individual, and the time is now. The war has begun this year. On 26 to be specific, we call you around, and you addressed we addressed some of the issues that were bedeviling our university. We had been given 212 million that was supposed to implement the 2017-2021 CBA. These guys paid part of the money, and much of the money remained in the university. We had to come out picketing to address that and tell them, give members their money. After a long duel of picketing and them going around cat and mouse games, they finally decided to pay the money. Then they said we are going to pay the money in 2 tranches. The first tranche was coming immediately in that month. The other one was coming by the end of that month. We have waited, We have waited up to now. We have not seen it. When we addressed ourselves today to eat, they are telling us we wait for students to pay fees so that that money can be paid. The big question is, where did the money that the government sent go? Who took it? Who took that money? When we ask this, the Vice Chancellor comes out and calls some of us madmen. Between us and him, who is mad?
Well, and still in education, the chairman of the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, Nambale constituency, is now calling on students from the constituency who scored 350 marks and above the 2020 KCPE exams to apply for bursaries. He has also hinted that schools have been issued with checks to add more infrastructures, following calls from school heads who have been decrying lack of enough infrastructures, with the latest being Kabula and Mwibale secondary schools.
Hizi projects ambazo nimezitangaza hapa ziko tayari, check ziko tayari, tumeshaziandika, tumesha sign. Wakati wote members wa hiyo shule wanaweza kuja kuzichukua hizi checks. Na tunataka kazi ianze wiki ijayo. Tunatangaza tenders. Sasa wale contractors ambao wako pre-qualified wangependa kujenga hizi madarasa watanunua bids kutoka kwa procurement officer kule kwa county commissioners office. Alafu kazi ianze mara moja. Na ningependa kuwaeleza contractors, ikiwa mtu ana uwezo wa kufanya kazi ndio apply. Kama anajua hana uwezo awache. Kwa sababu sisi hatutaki kazi ina hamu na pesa ziko. Kwa sababu sasa hivi nimesema checks ziko hapa zinaenda kwa mashule. Mtu anafanya kazi penye amefikia analipwa. Si ati tena tutakuwa na deni. Sasa tunataka tu vile mwenye maamua kwamba anajenga awe tayari kufanya hiyo kazi kwa miezi 3 hivi. Kazi iwe imekwisha na wanafunzi waanze kutumia madarasa.
Labda contractor anahitaji kuwa na vigezo vipi kwa hiyo tenda?
Wanajua sana. Tulishawaeleza tunataka wawe na.
And a family in Lugari is seeking justice after one of their own was shot and killed by forest rangers in Lugari Forest on allegations that he was involved in illegal logging. However, Lugari Deputy Commander William Kaptich says Jezron Opulo was shot dead after he allegedly tried to attack the rangers with a machete.
Unda mboga, tukaunda sapa, tukakula. Tukakaa na jirani kama kawaida, tukawatch. Venye vipindi vilisha, nikamwambia jirani hapana. Huyu si kawaida yake akae nje hivi. Na akikaa nje mpaka anipigie simu, aniambie leo sitakuja, labda nimegoma mahali fulani sababu ya hii na hii. Na leo hajafika, acha tumpigie simu. Nikapiga simu, simu inaniambia namba busy. Nikipiga simu, namba busy. Hapo ni mwendo wa saa 1. Baadaye nikasema acha nitulie kidogo. Kutulia nikapiga ikaingia.
Akajaribu kutoroka. Kwa intention ya kuumiza askari wa polisi. Bahati mbaya askari wa polisi wakafyatua risasi. Injured victim.
Kiwa mtoto atatoka hapa aende forest, aende aokote kuni ambazo huenda hata zilikauka na arudi tuzike, ni uchungu sana. Tungelipenda hatua ichukuliwe, uchunguzi kamili ufanyike, hali zote ziletwe, tujue ni nani aliua.
Amepasuka hivi, ubongo yote imetoka. Kijana alilia kama makono yake iko hivi, miguu iko hivi. Wamefunga na kamba ya manila ili miguu irudi, makono irudi pamoja. Ilikuwa huzuni.
Kiambaa Member of Parliament John Njuguna Elias Kawanjiku has pledged to streamline the bursary allocation process to ensure transparency and accountability so that deserving students benefit from the bursaries. Speaking after distributing bursaries forms to Ndenderu ward, Kawanjiku said 33 million shillings has been set aside from the constituency's development fund CDF to support the education of 5,000 learners from the underprivileged backgrounds in Kiambaa constituency.
So tutaki kufanya cost ya kuchukua bursary kuwe juu. Analipa transport, anapoteza siku mzima kwa sababu watu ni wengi na lines ni kubwa. Tumefanya hivi ndio tuhakikisha ya kwamba huduma imefikia mwananchi. Kitambo wamekuwa wakiendea kwa ofisi zetu za CDF pale Karuri, lakini tukaona tu devolve.
Ikiwa leo unakuja, unapatiwa, unahudumiwa jana na leo na kesho, hii ni kitu tujaona.
And with that news from Kiamba constituency, we've come to the end of Maisha Prime News. My name is Rida Chebet Kering, and make sure you tune in for Maisha Prime Talk. Today it's Thursday and it's PLG, that is Politics, Leadership and Governance. You don't want to miss this. It's going to be fire, so make sure you tune in. My name is Rida Chebet Kering.
Maisha is getting an exciting makeover. We're giving your channel a dedicated touch to enhance your viewing experience. Finding what you want, loving it has never been this easy.
Your capacity. The problem is leadership.
My name is Rida Chebet Kering.
Welcome home to your dedicated channel, where you choose it, watch it, and love it. It's your season.
It's a good evening, glad you tuned into Maisha Television. It is PLG Thursday, Politics, Leadership and Governance. And our topic today is going to center on formations of new coalitions, emergence of new parties, alignments and realignments of politicians. Are all these targeted toward the Deputy President William Ruto? I'm joined by Bushebi Jr., who is the CEO of PSL Africa Limited and the Director of Depression Kenya and the Director of Champions of Faith Kenya Edition. Karibu sana Bushebi Jr.
Asante sana. I just saw you starting up with formations and coalitions, and and tomorrow, by the way, the BBI ruling is being done. So
yeah, and we saw that the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga said that he will not contest if the decision of the court does not favor his side.
You know, it's good to prepare guys psychologically, you know, for anything. And so I think Raila Odinga, the ODM party leader, who is also giving so many people sleepless nights, is trying to prepare everyone, pro-BBI guys, just in case the court rules that they uphold the ruling of the previous court, then there should be no worries. You can still shelve it. Actually, he said you can shelve it and then do the changes in another way, maybe sometime later. I think that's what he said. Yeah.
But as you all know, the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga is not that easy to give up on things. We've seen in elections, whenever he loses, he must go to the court. Yeah, he must contest. So maybe this time he's decided to change. And also this week we've seen a lot of things about the coalitions, the formations of new parties. We've seen the leaders of One Kenya Alliance that consists of the KANU Party, ANC Party, Ford Kenya Party and Wiper Party. Why are you laughing?
Rida, you like putting me in a corner. You're starting me off by putting me in a corner somewhere, and then you know, like you really want me to go into this. But politics is so sweet. Only that before we even go to the issue of the OCA or OCOA or wherever it's called, I saw Nick's a lot struggling to say OCA. Yeah, I think that abbreviation is giving people a lot of problems, but it's OCA, OKA. That's One Kenya Alliance, not OCOA. OCOA Kenya is something different. So even on the same issue of BBI, before we even go into these OCA formations and coalitions, we should ask ourselves why, in the first place, BBI had to come in. You know, that's the big question. Why, in the first place, BBI had to come in? Why did we spend all that time talking about BBI? You know, keeping everyone busy, you know, talking about BBI, and, you know, spending a lot of money, and then later on, if they decide otherwise, it's okay. If they decide on in our favor, it's okay, you know. And billions of shillings have been spent on that thing, by the way.
True.
Billions of shillings. So that's what I wanted to say, because I can't say a lot because the thing is in the court, and matters of the court tunaachia waitoga learned friends.
Yeah. Tutangoja hadi kesho uamuzi utakapotolewa.
Yes. But now talking about politics, and I think Raila Odinga a day before was in Nakuru.
Yeah.
And the timing, because OCA was in Naivasha. They were supposed to release a statement on what they have discussed and what they have agreed on. Then at the same time, Raila Odinga had another meeting in Nakuru, also issuing a statement about national unity. And so Raila's statement actually overshadowed
the One Kenya
Alliance statement. So this is politics. Like I usually tell you, this is a game.
Yeah.
It's a script. There was pressure, like reports have indicated that President Uhuru Kenyatta had called the OCA affiliate parties and then called Raila Odinga to status in Mombasa, and he had tried to tell, you know, persuade them to support Raila Odinga as the next president. The big question is, why would a sitting president advocate for an opposition leader to succeed him?
That is the big question. I don't know why, but I'm just wondering, are all these politicians, in fact big politicians, ganging up to fight the deputy president or what?
We have to understand that William Ruto is not just a name. Already William Ruto has built himself brand, and a political brand for that matter, and a sellable one. It's not a brand that you can't sell. Whenever you put a title about Ruto, even on newspaper, the newspapers are going to sell. So this is a huge brand. And at the same time, Ruto has been consistent with his message that he wants to be the next president after Uhuru Kenyatta. In fact, when they were still brothers and when they were still having a lot of love between them, that's President Uhuru and William Ruto, when they used to wear same shirts and same colored ties and stuff like that, they used to say, yangu kumi, ya Ruto kumi. So Kenyans have always known for almost 10 years that William Ruto wanted to be the president come 2022, immediately Uhuru retires. So Ruto has been campaigning from day one. You know, he's been building himself he's been building a campaign machine for himself. You know, he has all this system that he's been using to campaign for 10 years. For the last 10 years, he has been campaigning. You know, he's been on the grassroots, he's been mingling with people, you know, he's been going to all these so-called launching projects, you know, and there he has networks. He has created a battalion of followers, you know. So at the same time, there is Raila Odinga, who's tried 4 times to become the president of Kenya, and he has failed 4 times. And looking at the political history of Raila Odinga, he has also built a following, a battalion of following, and every Kenyan knows that Raila Odinga wants to be the president of Kenya. So when you put these two guys together, you find that they're the only horses.
Farasi wawili.
Farasi wawili. I saw the other guy saying farasi ni wawili, and my personal opinion, this is my personal opinion, when you look at these two brands, political brands, that is Raila Odinga, and you look at William Ruto, they are the two horses right now. Okay? And each one of them is trying to outdo the other in this game. So who is behind Oka? Of course, nobody. Nobody is behind Oka. Who is behind all these other coalitions? Of course, nobody. Who is behind all these small parties that are being formed right now? Of course, nobody. But eventually, this is the game plan. Eventually, they're all going to gang up behind a specific person. Okay? Either William Ruto or Raila Odinga. That is the game plan. Eventually, they're going to gang up behind somebody. So, we formed this coalition because we want to consolidate this vote, and then we're going to give these votes to a certain person. So the meetings, the consultations, and all the things that are going on right now is about bargaining. Okay, what am I going to get out of this?
Yeah, but the ODM leader Raila Odinga, has he announced his bid to contest for presidency come 2022?
Whether Raila says it or not, Raila Odinga is going, his name will be on the ballot in 2022.
But the Oka leaders have been saying that they have supported Raila for a long time, and now it's time for them.
Listen to me, reader. ODM, all the leaders in ODM, okay, together, okay, you can go combine all the elected leaders of Ford Kenya, ANC, Wiper, together, Oka, the whole of Oka and their leaders, they will still not, the number is still less than the number of leaders of ODM. Okay? So who has the bargaining power here?
So it's ODM.
When you talk about numbers in Kenya, okay? When you talk about somebody who can sustain a presidential campaign in Kenya, okay? You need a coalition to do that. Raila Odinga doesn't need a coalition to do that. He's one guy who can sustain a campaign. Raila is a national, is a brand, is a political brand. Okay? That's why I started by comparing Raila Odinga and William Ruto.
Yeah.
These are two guys who can sustain presidential campaigns and machinery that can lead them into State House.
And actually, talking about Raila Odinga, there is Jimmy Wanjiki who has come out to say that he will compete with Raila come what may.
No. Forget about the Jimmy Wanjigis and all these guys who are coming up and saying that they also want to be presidents. I'm telling you for sure, this is there's always a way that things are done in politics, okay? So you are my friend. I'll tell you, go and start a political party, okay? Go and play as if you're against me. But eventually, we're going to converge somewhere, okay? Hapo mbele tunaenda kuungana.
Sasa nakuja ni kama niko against you, nachukua watu, napata wafuasi, then at the end of it tunakutana wafuasi wangu wote wanakuwa wako.
Exactly. And then these political parties and these declarations of I want to be president, all these things are being done on behalf of somebody. I can tell you for sure, they are being done on behalf of someone. There's somebody who is declaring to be, I want to be the president, so that they can consolidate these votes, or start a party so that this party can fight the other party that also started somewhere else and pick up the votes from that. So you see, like, sometimes, for example, if I start a party, okay? If I start a party and there's ODM, and I've started my party in an ODM turf, okay? Somebody in ODM will also try and form another party, okay? To counter my party.
Yeah.
Okay? Just to fight with me, because you don't expect Raila Odinga to start fighting with me. That guy is on another level. There's no way Raila Odinga will start talking about these small parties. He is a spokesperson of the bigger party, ODM. But you'll see somebody from ODM will say, if I said I want to be a senator or I want to be a governor or I want to be something, somebody else will also say it in another party. Or so if I start a party, somebody else will also go and start another party to counter me. So this is the ini game kidogo ya hapa chini. Akina Jimmy Wanjigi wanapigana na hawa jamaa wenye wanaanzisha mapati na hawa wadogo wenye wanasema wanataka kuwa president. We all know for sure. IBC, the other time though it was annulled, IBC said a presidential candidate needs to have 4.4 billion. 4.4 billion that's the budget for the campaigns. Where are you going to get 4.4 billion shillings? Okay, so it's not easy for anybody to say I'm going to be president. That is number one. That's just the financial budget. Then you also need a follow. You need people to trust you, and trust is not built through a declaration. Okay? You don't stand up, call a press conference and say I want to be president and people trust you. Okay? Trust is built over time. It's built by years of working with people and being faithful to the things that you say. So that people can build their trust in you and believe that you're a great leader. Now, when we look at all these presidential candidates, there are only two people who've gained trust in equal measure. Okay? Whether hatred or love, in equal measure. When you look at Raila Odinga, to be honest, in my opinion, this guy controls almost half or more than half of the country.
True.
Yes. He is popular. He is known. He has a following.
Support,
yes, he has a big support. So he's not someone you're going to write off. You won't just sit in a meeting and say, we don't want this guy. Okay? And look at William Ruto. William Ruto is another one. Okay? We don't have any other person in Jubilee or any other party who can fight William Ruto unless it's Raila Odinga.
True.
Very true. They can't stand. Ruto will say one word and he'll destroy somebody. It's only Raila Odinga that Ruto cannot say anything and it sticks.
Yeah, that's why I saw the KANU chairperson, not chairperson, but the KANU party leader, Gideon Moi, telling the OKA members, the One Kenya Alliance members, that they need the support of the ODM, Raila Odinga, because he's the only one who can fight the deputy president.
He's the only person who can actually counter the system of deputy president.
Yeah.
Trust you me, the deputy president William Ruto is a man determined to be the president.
Yeah, and just before we continue, let's have a look at what the ODM leader Raila Odinga said while in Nakuru and what the deputy president said.
Najua ya kwamba wale watu wa seminar na retreat na conference wanataka tena kuanza hiyo mambo ya seminar. Ati wanakutana waweze kupanga vile wanaume 5-6 wanaweza kugawana mamlaka na vyeo.
Kuna wale ambao wameiba mali ya umma. Wakishaiba mali ya umma wanarudi nayo kwa wananchi. Wanakwenda ati wanataka vikundi ya kina mama wafanye harambee. Wafanye harambee kwa vijana. Wanunua magari kwa shule, mabasi. Ati waende kwa makanisa. Wafanye michango huko.
Well, you've seen that clip. The ODM leader is saying that he's determined to root out the thieves who are stealing in the country. Yeah.
Yes, like I said the other time, it's not easy to deal with corrupt cases. Corrupt cases are the hardest cases to deal with. You can tell people I'll deal with corruption, but there are laws. And those laws actually have a lot of roadblocks because you have to convict, you have to prove in court that somebody actually stole something. And there was a time when we had a presidential debate. And I remember Raila Odinga, was it Raila Odinga or someone? I'll go and check it again. But Uhuru Kenyatta was asked a question about lands and then the acres of land that was stolen and something like that, that Kenyatta stole land or something like that. And Uhuru Kenyatta said, you have the lands registry. If you go to the lands department in Kenya and find a single parcel of land registered under the name of Uhuru Kenyatta, please come back and call me a thief. Okay? Come back and call me a thief. So you don't just wake up and call people thieves. You don't just wake up. You have to prove it. You know, these are statements that are used to crush your opponent politically. These are political statements that are just thrown out there. Oh, Rida is a thief. You know, Bush did this and that. You know, you just throw it out there so that you smear your opponent.
And actually, that has been the strategy for the campaigns and building of the names in politics in Kenya.
Exactly.
Because, but you see, the deputy president is determined to change that conversation into the politics of ideas and not of.
Deputy president is not innocent. There was a time he was calling Raila Odinga mtu wa mtoni.
Yeah, ndio nasema siasa ya Kenya imekuwa na hiyo kitambo, kuanzia kitambo imekuwa ni ya kuharibiana jina. Unaharibia mwenzako jina ndio uonekane mzuri. Yeye pia kitokea next time anakuharibia jina. But saizi I can see that they are now determined. I even saw the ODM leader Raila Odinga while in Nakuru. He said that they are now determined.
Politician is a point.
Unaanza kuangalia umeanza kupeleka vitu the same thing that you're saying.
They're just using people. This is purely political. Once this is the road to power. This is the road to power. And trust you me, when people want power, they say anything, they can do anything. A man desperately in need can say anything, can promise anything, can promise you anything. This is the time Kenyans will see all kinds of promises. I'm telling you for sure, you're going to hear a lot of stuff.
Hapo ndo nisema utapata politician Mluya anaenda kuongea Kikale.
Anaenda kuongea Kikale. Hapo ndio politicians watajua lugha zote kwa hii dunia. I'm telling you.
Hapo ndo anabeba watoto, hapo ndo wanalima shamba.
The photos are going to be taken, you know, classic photos. There's a lot of business are going to boom. You know, let me tell you. If we are looking for leaders, unfortunately, politics is about numbers. Politics is about how you sell your idea, how you sell yourself. And if we are talking about people who've managed to sell themselves as national figures who can run for presidency and actually have a high chance of getting into State House, there are two people. That is William Ruto and Raila Odinga. Trust you me. With all due respect, other political presidential aspirants, yes, they are great leaders. They are great leaders. That one is undisputed. They have very nice ideas. There are two things that are killing them. Number one, selling the idea. Number two, money to fund campaigns to sell those ideas. Because you cannot campaign on press conferences. you can't address the nation on TV.
People want to see you.
People want to, but you need machinery, you need money, you need finances to be able to get to the roots. You need to mobilize people, you need groups, you need guys to go to the ground. Okay? Then they need to give information. You need information and then management of that information. And it requires a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of sacrifice.
Yeah.
You will campaign until you feel like dying. Okay? You will say the same thing from morning till morning for 7 days, 364 days a year. Saying the same thing. Tutajenga mabarabara, tutajenga sijui nini. Unatoka hapa, unaenda pale. Unatoka hapa, convoy inasimamishwa. Mimi nimewaambia ile barabara. You need to know all places. Unafaa kujua huko ndani, huko kuna kaja. And there are only few, there are very few people. Very few people. And I'm telling you, there are two people
who can manage
that. Who can go to a very remote area that we don't know if it exists in Kenya, and they can actually speak their language there. Okay? Kuna watu wenye ukienda kule ndani reserve mashinani hata penye sisi hatujui jina, and you ask them, they know two people. They know Raila Odinga and they know William Ruto. Okay? There are only two people in Kenya who can actually sell an idea so casually. That is Raila Odinga and
William Ruto.
Okay? They will come up and tell you Tibim. They will come up and tell you pesa mashinani ama inaitwaje?
Bottom up economy.
Bottom up economy. They will come up and tell you, and it sticks. It sells. But you see, like our son, ANC party leader, economy, he has been talking about serious points about economy, serious points, serious ideas. Who is listening?
No one.
Who even cares?
I even saw him the other day, I think it was last week, talking about actually I was not understanding what he was talking about. You know, the economy has gone down.
This is the thing.
Strategy.
He's talking like a technocrat. He's in a class, in a university class or something, in a lecture room. Okay, you don't talk to Kenyans as a lecturer.
You have to simplify.
You have to simplify the message, put it in a context, and then put a slogan, and then tell Kenyans, hey, this is it now. Then sell it. Okay. Number two, how many areas has our leaders, apart from Raila Odinga and Ruto, other political aspirants, okay, presidential aspirants, how many places, can they count the number of places they have visited for the last 1 year in Kenya? Okay? While every day, Ruto has done it for the last 10 days. I mean 10 years. Raila Odinga has done it for almost 30 years. Okay? This is a man who has been inside and out of Kenya in every corner. He knows. He knows Kenyans. He knows how they think. He knows what they need. He knows what they want. The only person who comes second is William Ruto. You cannot compete with such people.
True. So you mean that Farasi Nwawili?
Farasi Nwawili. That's my opinion. Farasi Nimbili.
Well, keep your comments coming. You can text in 0746 999 841. You can also call. And remember, we are live on our social media platforms, Facebook and YouTube, Maisha Television Kenya, Twitter and Instagram at Maisha TV KE. We are taking a short commercial break. We'll be coming back, so stay tuned.
Something you need to know.
Just do. Right.
What a treat.
Sasa anamupenda lakini anashindwa kujielezea. Si life ingekuwa hizi kama mambo yangekuwa one touch yap, kuongea na kujielezea. Mambo mengine sio rahisi, lakini kupata 50% extra airtime ya kuponda kwa SMS ya Safaricom, mambo ni one touch.
Pata 50% extra credo bila expiry ya kupiga na ku-SMS across networks. Piga star 444 star scratch card pin hash, na kama ni M-Pesa star 444 star 2 hash. Safaricom.
Coronavirus COVID-19 is a respiratory virus spreading across the world. The infection is spread from droplets of coughing and sneezing of an infected person, touching or shaking hands, or being in contact with contaminated surfaces